We have Chad Hetherington coming in here. He's got experience on the fund side. Okay. He's got experience on the brand side. And now he's debuting a new, what he would say, I think we'll have to hear from the horse's mouth, but I think what he would say is for this new era, third era of e-commerce and D2C, a new service offering that I think just might tickle the ears a little bit that we need to hear about. We have to welcome co-founder of Third. Get in here, Chad Hetherington. Get inside this show. We need you in here, brother.
Let's go.
There he is.
Hey, lads.
Go. Hit me with the lads. I love it. I love it.
Chad, where is that accent from, brother? I hear
it's actually Australian. It's a bit bad Australian now, but here we are.
You know, I don't just say this because you're here, Chad. I think of the English speaking peoples. I think the Australian accent is number one.
Thank you.
I would take that. I would advocate for Southern United States as number two, but I have to. I think the Aussies.
I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you on that.
I appreciate that. Okay, Chad, brother, give us some perspective on what you're doing now. I want to talk about the barn. I want to talk about other things too, but man, give us perspective on Third. That I've been hearing exciting things about live shopping, social commerce, etc. Brother, what are you doing and building now? I think this thing has just recently debuted. Is that the case?
Yeah, we actually have. We've been around 2 weeks now.
Wow!
So it's very early, very fresh. Yeah, something I've been working on sort of over the last few months. I even say the last 15 years working with consumer product companies and retailers, which is predominantly where I was working. My last company, The Stable, was helping brands navigate the world of Target and Walmart and Amazon.
Man.
And we were we were in between the brand and the retailer, helping them broker their deals and get shelf space and all that. And we started the company back then in 2015. As the rise of these D2C brands was sort of starting to expand out of D2C and into retail. And, we got to work with some incredible brands over that period. And the company grew from, the first 6 of us in that conference room on LinkedIn calling brands, trying to find clients, to 600 people in
Seriously?
Yeah.
Chad, that's incredible, bro.
It was wild. It was wild. Yeah. The company started in that heritage of retail brokering, and then eventually we expanded into e-commerce and we acquired our way into the Shopify ecosystem. We acquired BVA and Zana on the same day, actually, which was sort of wild. And so for a while there, we had the largest Shopify practice globally, which was a whole new world for me to go into. But essentially, a brand could come to us and work with us across e-coms, Shopify, and then eventually into mass retail. And so the company grew. We had a great portfolio of clients. And then just as everything was, I felt like everyone was on the train. We were we had established ourselves. Our brand was recognized in the system of the agency landscape and brand world, and we ended up getting acquired. It just sort of happened, and we got acquired by Accenture, and so we became the commerce arm of Accenture Song globally.
Okay, Chad. I mean, just a small name in the world, right?
Yeah, you just casually dropped that. That is
we ended up getting acquired by Accenture and became their commerce arm. That's wild, brother.
Yeah, it was wild. Wild experience, and I got 3 wonderful years at Accenture after that with me, and during those 3 years, I was always just curious about where commerce was going, and spent a lot of time listening to my kids who are 15 and 13, and they're telling me what's hot. They're learning about products and brands in new ways than we all grew up walking into a store and seeing an end cap of a brand we'd not heard about, or getting served ads, over the last decade or so. Now it's changing, and platforms are now becoming a real deal in terms of commerce and brand. And so I just looked at it and said, this is such an interesting space to maybe learn a bit more about. And I didn't want to start a company just by starting it from scratch like I did the stable, because I felt like by the time I get any level of scale, things could be passing me by. And so sort of strike while the iron's hot, I guess. And I ended up finding 2 agencies that I was able to build relationships with and partnerships with, and ultimately got them to sell their company to me and start this new company called Third. So Third is basically a combination of 2 existing agencies who are in the TikTok ecosystem. One is Orca, who's the OG agency in the TikTok shop space, doing lives and affiliate sales and everything social commerce related. And then the second company is a company called Sapphire Studios, which is one of the largest UGC content creators, where they pull in data from ad accounts and TikTok and other sources to inform brands on what creative actually drives sales, and obviously create the content too. So 2 great companies that made a lot of sense to be one. And, and we were able to acquire both of them, just a few weeks ago, and launch with a new brand called Third, which is around this concept of third era of commerce. So I'm very, very excited about it.
Chad, that is incredible, brother.
Yeah, Chad, you're dropping an absolute masterclass on us for how to run a career. This is unbelievable.
I'm making it up like everyone else, all right?
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, you're talking a little bit about, live selling. This is Chris's favorite thing in the entire world.
It's like my favorite thing to talk about right now.
It's his favorite thing in the entire world. Could you talk a little bit about what you guys are doing with TikTok Shop, what you guys are doing with Whatnot? If you want to talk about Whatnot, Chris is going to absolutely explode with happiness. It's his favorite thing ever.
Whatnot's wonderful. Yeah. It's we could talk for hours on that. In fact, my youngest kid too. He loves Whatnot, and I think every day he's getting new basketball cards delivered to the house. It's just such a fun experience to watch him learn and supply chain, and then it lands.
That's
in our
awesome.
And then he's learning a lot. So it's a fun space. But yeah, obviously TikTok's the behemoth in the room, right? That's the hot topic right now. It's brands are trying to figure out what their TikTok strategy means, and TikTok's almost in 2 businesses: the marketing side and the shop side. And so there's 2 different directions merging. A lot of starting to sort of bring it together. But our role is simply, how do we help brands, not just TikTok, but more broadly, think about how they take these platforms and turn them into real sales channels. And so, Orca has been doing this for a long time, and I say a long time, 4 or 5 years, right? But that's a long time in the space.
It is.
A brand comes in and says, like, I want to be active on TikTok Shop. I want to create content to drive awareness and sales. What do I do, right? And so these guys come up with a strategy around how to go and execute that, and that could involve doing lives, and those lives could be done daily, they could be done weekly. They have to think about their affiliate side and how they engage affiliates to drive sales, because a lot of the TikTok Shop sales still happens primarily with affiliates and creators. And then obviously having a good sort of behind the scenes shop operations team that can actually deliver on that work and just make sure that their brand's always shipping on time, and things break, right? So actually making sure that we're stopping them from breaking, and that they're actually scaling it into a meaningful platform. So it's we're gonna be curious over the next few years and think about what is those platforms of the future. TikTok there's still a lot there to be done, and so we're going to continue to sort of triple down in that space, but be curious about new and emerging platforms that you mentioned. Whatnot, we're in business with them today. We are participating there. I think there's a massive unlock with them. Amazon's pushing hard at live, eBay's pushing hard at live.
True.
So live's going to continue to grow. We've obviously all seen the numbers in China, and they are growing here rapidly here in the US. So I think we're going to see that live's going to continue to have its place and continue to grow here in the US. And so we want to help brands sort of navigate that world, execute flawlessly, and sell more product on those platforms. But I'm a nerd in all this. Like, I just love what other platforms come up that could live in the world we live in. And obviously there's a lot of people talking about AI commerce and conversational commerce and all of those things, which I think make a lot of sense. But I'm addicted what's happening in the world of Roblox right now and the world of Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, that to me is like so wild and so incredible to learn.
It's
and
crazy.
So that's a space I'm going to keep my eye on for the future. So
Well,
not to give anything away.
I think there's a lot of what you're doing that is, it's compelling, and I think we all sense or know, if we haven't yet, this is the step I need to take. In the sense of, commerce has changed. I used to just go to the store. Now people find my site. Now, if there's any way we can move that goal line from discovery to purchase, how short can we make that distance? The shorter we can make it, the better. TikTok is the OG. Meta seems to be really endeavoring to do the same thing now by many ways. I mean, the Instagram release yesterday, and what they're doing with PayPal and Stripe, and there's a number of interesting things there. But I find what it seems to be, you're equipping, or you're enabling brands to enter on the live selling side. It seems to me that you actually have people that can help them execute that, like yesterday, tomorrow, like you want to do that. And to me, this is what's so compelling about what you're doing, is that everybody knows, like, oh yeah, live, like I need to do that. My Lord, it just seems like such a headache to actually do. Who's going to do it? How do you do it well? I mean, it seems like you're set up to like execute that on behalf of brands like tomorrow. Is that the case?
Yeah, that's the case. And, we're doing it in multiple countries too. And so it's not just here in the US, we're doing it in Mexico. We have an office and studio there. We're doing it in London, doing it in EU. Yeah. And, brands are now, like, if you're following TikTok's sort of strategy, right, and they're opening up all these new territories, and we have to be present in those territories because our brands are expecting us to be the expert in that space and know how to do it. So we need people, we need process, we need technology, we need all of those things. We need studios, to be able to execute on that, to make it a turnkey for a brand who is just even thinking about what it means, so. Very exciting.
You're global, brother. I mean, you can live sell in Espanol, and you can live sell in English, and you can live sell in other languages. That's wild.
That is wild.
It's happening. Yeah, it's happening. No, very, very exciting space. This company I'm very fired up about, and I know it's only been 2 weeks, but I've got 2 great companies, great leaderships, great operators, great studios, great clients. So a really good starting base to work from, and
that's incredible, man.
Be fun to build out. So
could you talk to us a little bit about some of the best practices for live selling? So if I'm a brand, I'm seeing live selling, and I'm just like, that's a total can of worms. I'm super intimidated by it. I'm ready I'm going to jump on there, and I'm going to get bullied by the comments immediately. As you would. I was the founder leading my brand, and you would just get bullied by the Facebook ad comments and be like, can this guy please get off of here? Please, this is annoying. Could you talk to us about some of those best practices if a brand is super interested in getting started with live selling?
And I think the punchline is too, like, it almost doesn't matter what you say here, Chad. Like, people basically can't execute it themselves. They're already underwater doing everything else. I mean, that's kind of my thought. But I'm interested in what you got to say on it.
Yeah. I'm still learning, but the common thread that I've heard through this short journey so far, you need a good merchandising strategy. Like, first and foremost, the product has to be interesting. The content associated with that product. It has to have good review. All the standard things that you would expect on any channel, right? Whether it's Amazon or Target or whatever. So, and then so I think that's one. The second is a really good host, right? A host that can actually communicate effectively with the audience. And you think some of these live streams are going for hours at a time, right? So, like, you might not be watching it for multiple hours at a time.
Yeah.
And so the host has to constantly be refreshing and reintroducing the brand and the product and staying engaged and staying motivated. And so, having a good, strong host, I think certainly makes a difference as well. And then you've got all the other things that surround that. Obviously, good execution, making sure you can deliver product, making sure your marketing and your affiliate and UGC content is helping support it. But yeah, it's so similar to even when I used to sell to QVC back in the day. Good hosts, great products, good pricing, something compelling. And if you can't discount the item because you've got other retailers who are selling it at the same price, you don't want to discount it. People on the platform are looking for deals, and
They are.
you just have to be creative around how you think about that. And does that mean doing bundles that have discounts, doing new product drops and things like that? So merchandising and hosts is definitely key. So
you know what I love about this direction of where we're going in e-commerce, this new era. What I love about it is that I feel it effectively taps into what I say. I know for sure it's here in America, but I think it's the case in other parts of the world too, is this like core desire of shopping is fun. There's entertainment to be had when I bring out my wallet and what's the deal? I mean, you talk to me about it. Sell me a little bit. Give me a good offer. How long is it there? Is it limited time? Let me bid. If it's an auction, let me bid. There's an element of entertainment here.
Amen.
And it totally seems I am 1,000% with you that this seems like QVC 2.0 or 3.0. It's what we stayed up watching late at night in the 90s that is now here in its newest form, that's democratized, and it's like a totally new form of this.
Absolutely right.
I'm bullish. I'm so bullish. And I think what you're doing is, man, you're right at the crest of the zeitgeist on this. There's we just had BattleBox on here not long ago, Chad.
Oh my gosh.
John Roman at BattleBox, they sold their business. They're great with content. They've got a couple of seasons on Netflix. They do great stuff. Well, they sold their business. They recently bought it back. They bought it back. Now they're back at the helm and running it again. They went all in on Whatnot a year ago. Brother, now it's their number 2 revenue generating channel. Whatnot.
Crazy. Not surprised.
I think it proves the point that man, this direction of platform, live, entertaining host, compelling offer, and like somehow finding the way to amass that together. There's tons of dollars to be made, tons of win-wins to be created, and you're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it globally.
Yeah, and why shouldn't shopping be fun, right? That's how we grew up, and shopping was a treat to do on the weekends and Thursday night, whatever it was, and now I feel like we're getting that back through these new platforms when we're sort of marrying content, community, and commerce all in one. And I think it's a very exciting time. So I'm with you. I'm very bullish on the space.
Wow. That's incredible, man. Chad, tell us. I know we're a couple weeks in, but people want to find you. They want to talk with you. They want to avail themselves. They know, like, hey, I need to do this. I literally don't have the capacity. We need somebody who's a pro and can spin it up now. Where do they go? Where do they find you? Where do they talk to you, brother?
Yeah, so our website is just third.co.
Third.co.
And anyone can email me anytime at any point of the day. I'm just chad@third.co. So
Chad. Chad.
Sorry, bad Australian accent.
All right, man. Chad, brother, we love what you're doing. Man, we got to keep tabs on this and have you back, because I think this is really exciting, and especially this global piece. That's mind blowing to me.
Yeah,
I love that.
Huge.
I love that.
Chad,
thanks for coming, brother. Look forward to having you back, man.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
So good.
Bye.
So good.